Stadium as they honor Mariano Rivera, his 42 painted on the grass on either side. They put a Jackie Robinson plaque in Monument Park to honor his number 42 being retired. And then Mariano's number 42, the last to be worn by any big league player, was retired officially as a New York Yankee next to Ron Guidry's out there in Monument Park. And then Mariano took the field to a live rendition of Enter Sandman by Metallica. And boy, that young man has a lot to smile about as he was honored here at Yankee Stadium. And Hyundai presents the Sunday game of the week. It's the New York Yankees against the San Francisco Giants in the final game of a 3-game set from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. Oh, quite an afternoon here at the stadium. Mariano officially retired, number 42, but he still will pitch or might pitch in the remaining games on the schedule. There are 7 games to go as the Yankees are still in the hunt for a playoff spot. That man is pitching his final game here at Yankee Stadium. He also announced his retirement, so Andy is getting ready. And it was kind of a neat thing when you saw all the players that were actually out there on the field with their video cameras out, taking pictures of Mariano coming in. We'll talk about it as we move along. So you see Andy on the mound. So let's take a look at the Giants starting lineup. Giants are 71 and 84, and these are the guys that Andy is going to face in his final regular season home start. The center fielder is Angel Pagan. He'll lead off. Juan Perez, the left fielder, will bat second. Brandon Belt at first, hits third. Cleaning up the DH, Buster Posey. Hunter Pence in right field will bat fifth. Batting sixth, playing third base, Pablo Sandoval. Hector Sanchez will catch. He'll bat seventh. Batting eighth and playing second base, Tony Abreu. And Adrianza is going to actually play shortstop, and he will bat ninth. I'm here now with Paul O'Neill, who is now on the field with me, and Al Leiter. And Al, give me some details on Andy Pettitte.
Well, yes, I will. Andy Pettitte trying to make a sweep here. Yankees already won 2 of the first of these 3-game set. There you see the 10-10, his last start as a New York Yankee here in the Bronx. Let's take a look at the Honda Pitcher Scout Report. Try Honda dealers. One of the best. I'll tell you, we'll talk about it, but he's ranks up there with Whitey Ford and Ruffing and postseason wins. You talk about.
Let's do it here in the Bronx. The first pitch is a strike, and we're underway.
You talk about his history. It's been certainly documented with all of his greatness. And down the stretch, he's been pitching very well, 3-1 with a 2.02 ERA. And tough on left-handers, best in his career. 199 batting average against. His career has been 261. And he's just really matured, 41 years old, and pitching great.
When you mature, about 41?
Definitely. I think it's about 40.
Yeah, 40.
The 0-2. Andy kind of shocked the public when he announced on Thursday that he was, in fact, retiring. No, that was Friday. And he got Mariano's approval so that it didn't take any of the spotlight away from Owen. You can see from the ceremony it certainly did not. But his teammates and his manager knew much earlier. As Andy told Joe Girardi in spring training, he was close to 100% sure that this was going to be his final season. But this is not just a ceremonial goodbye start. Yankees need to win.
It's I don't think a uniform number has ever.
That one's popped up. As Ichiro puts it away.
Going back, I don't think a uniform number has ever been retired where the guy's still out on the field and could play today, right?
It is pretty cool.
Huh?
It is pretty cool.
And it could be a meaningful thing. I mean, Andy Pettitte, his last regular season start here, and again, they put themselves in an interesting position if they win today with Tampa Bay coming in here during the week.
3 games starting on Tuesday against the Rays. Pitch to Juan Perez is outside. Doug Eddings is the home plate umpire. This is a sellout. You could not get a seat for this game. In the hours before the game, outside Yankee Stadium, absolutely buzzing. Difficult to get where you wanted to go, but people understood, wanted to get in and be here for the ceremony, and they certainly were.
Which I think, Michael, of all of the great ceremonies that this organization's had with all the great history, I thought that was what really made it even more special. The place was packed.
Right. It was good, too. I mean, I haven't had goosebumps on the field in a while, but, I mean, when he's walking in during that was pretty cool.
Perez swings and misses, two-way here in the first inning.
Well, I was thinking now that, with all that's going on and all that's going on through Andy Pettitte's mind also, the first inning is going to be a tough one. And so far, so good. He's got a good breaking ball. You see a cutter down and in there. Love to see him get into a good rhythm where he can just concentrate on getting guys out.
Mariano Rivera, day patch is on the hat, also on the sleeve of the uniform. How often do you see that, Paul? An active player. Brandon Belt takes strike. Also a nice gesture by the Giants. They stood on the top step, actually outside the dugout, the entire ceremony, and they made a presentation of their own former Yankees that are on the Giant staff, and there were plenty of them. And it was also somewhat symmetrical that Dave Righetti made the presentation, and he was the all-time saves leader before Mariano passed him for the Yankees. There's Hensley Mullins. 1-2.
Wow, you talked about lefties and why he's had so much more success, and I think he actually has a better breaking ball late in his career than he did earlier. I mean, he used to be, sinker, changeup, kind of a cutter, slider. That he's got a bigger breaking ball. He's going to give lefties a lot more trouble.
And the 1-2. Swing and a miss. That's an impressive first inning for Andy Pettitte. The first inning of his last home game in the regular season. He retires the Giants in order. Yankees are coming back. The right fielder Ichiro Suzuki leads off, batting second and DHing Alex Rodriguez. Robinson Cano at second base will hit third. Cleaning up left fielder Alfonso Soriano. Curtis Granderson in center field will bat fifth. Batting sixth, playing third base Eduardo Nunez. Mark Reynolds, the first baseman, bats seventh. Batting eighth, playing shortstop Brendan Ryan, and Chris Stewart's going to catch. He'll bat ninth.
On the mound for the Giants, Yusmeiro Pettitte, 28-year-old right-hander from Maracaibo, Venezuela. What a job he's done. He's been bounced around a lot of different places in his professional career, but seems to be settling in with the Giants. Great 4-0 record. Let's take a look at the Pitcher Scout Report, brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. Oh, so close to perfect. On September 6th, Eric Chavez broke up a perfect game, 2 outs in the ninth. It's been the 24th perfect game in baseball. Ended up with a 1-hit shutout. No homers in 32 and 2/3 innings as a starter. Hasn't given up a home run.
Just repeat that, Michael, because usually when you say something like that, Ichiro will go deep.
Well, you know, I had to include that because here we are, Yankee Stadium, a lot of lefties, short porch, and found a home. I mentioned he's pitched well enough here in San Francisco to deserve to be in this rotation next year.
You weren't here back then, Al, but Michael would say, you know, you haven't gone hitless in like 15 games. 0 for 5. You haven't done this. I did it. It just, whatever left his lips happened.
Mystical powers is what you call it, right?
Or a black cloud.
Slip rock. Good luck, Charlie.
The 0-2. Fouled away. Well, Paul, you were standing on the field. What was it like?
You know, you were down there also. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better day. The excitement. I mean, just the Yankees did a great job bringing, Metallica in. I got goosebumps. And just sitting out there with guys that were a big part of what happened in the past and now in uniform. I mean, it was really cool. I didn't think that there was much they missed. Coming back to think about it.
Paul, you got a big ovation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They like you.
That wasn't the microphone?
No, it was you.
I thought you turned the mic up when I got announced or something.
I didn't even get a chance to introduce you. It was
You didn't
Sterling.
yeah. Usually you like to throw something out there for me.
Yeah. This gave me goosebumps to see guys that have been at the height and champions, and they wanted to record this on their phones.
You know what? I had a big issue too. See, I'm trying to make it go video. Why will you not go video? I want a video right now.
Tell the truth. He's trying to figure out how to email right now.
Tino's looking over like you. I can help you if you need it.
That one's driven to center field. Pagan will make the play. Why don't we check out the Giants defense presented by Geico. We've got Perez in left, Pagan in center, and Hunter Pence in right. Infield at Sandoval, Adrianza, Abreu, and Belt, third to first. Sanchez behind the plate, and Pettitte is on the mound. So it's Pettitte against Pettitte.
It's funny because Jeter always used to call Pettitte Petite.
Yep.
If you look at his name, so we got Pettitte against Pettitte today. Just missing a couple of T's and E's.
Here's A-Rod. A-Rod had another RBI yesterday and a ground out, but he had that big hit on Friday, the grand slam that broke a 1-1 tie. Also broke a tie with Lou Gehrig for the most in Major League Baseball history.
Good breaking ball there. Another thing that amazed me, and then, you're looking around the celebration, and Joe Torre was over talking to Mrs. Jackie Robinson's wife. She is in her 90s. I mean, she's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
It's kind of neat, too, Paul, in the dugout before the ceremonies began. Almost the entire 96, 98, not the entire, obviously, not 25 guys, but all you guys hanging around with Torre again, if he was with his team again.
I went out and I was talking to Tino and Jorge, and I was looking at the lineup, and I looked over. Everything seemed intact, and then I saw Coney, and I saw Nelly, and I saw Wetland. And I said, Coney, you know what? Look at this lineup. You're in trouble. You got 7 innings today because Wetland's only got 1 and Nelson's only got 1. We'll take care of the hitting, but you got 7 innings.
So 2 down. That's going to bring up Cano. Yankees looking for a sweep of the Giants. 5-1 on Friday, 6-0 yesterday. But a lot of the teams that they have to jump over have been winning. Now the Orioles lost twice so far to Tampa Bay. Won an excruciatingly long game on Friday, and then yesterday. I think the Yankees would love to have the Orioles take a game today.
But, when you two were arguing the other day, I'm with you now. I understand where you're coming from. I think that the Yankees have put themselves in a better position by getting Baltimore behind them.
Right.
Because now that they play Tampa Bay, they can control that destiny. You still obviously have to worry about Cleveland and Texas. You scoreboard watch. It's just the way it is this time of year.
But it would serve them well if Baltimore could win today. Now, Baltimore is trailing in the top of the second inning 1-0 to Tampa Bay. But if Baltimore wins and the Yankees win, well, then you're 3 games back in the loss column by the Rays, and you play the Rays 3 times. So you kind of control things there, and you've already passed the Orioles anyway. And Houston has jumped on Cleveland early. The Astros lead 2-0, top of the 4th inning.
In that Orioles series, guys, it's a wraparound series, so there's 2 more. They play tomorrow, Tampa Bay, before they come up here to New York.
And we talk about this stuff, and the celebrations and the wild card and this, and none of it matters unless you go home with wins every single day if you're part of the Yankees right now.
2-2. Yankees baseball available in Spanish by hitting the SAB button on your remote. SAB is brought to you by Infinity.
I needed that down on the field, Michael.
Did you?
Yeah, Mariano went into a little Spanish for us.
Yeah.
I had no clue what he was talking about, but the people of Panama, I saw the signs and the flags waving, so he must have been talking to them.
The 2-2. I thought it was also fitting at the end where he said, "I wish George Steinbrenner was here."
That was awesome.
That was really nice, and George Steinbrenner's family behind everybody and making the presentation, a $100,000 check to Mariano's organization. But for him to mention George Steinbrenner, I think meant a lot to everybody on that field. Had a nice touch with Robinson Cano, bringing out Rachel and Sharon Robinson, as Robinson was named after Jackie Robinson. That one is drilled to center field. Pagan back, still back, and he'll make the play on the warning track and takes a seat for the final out of a 1-2-3 inning. We played one here at the stadium. 0-0 on yes. Model your lineup at JaguarUSA.com. Our New York Yankees appetizers, these delicious mini bagel hot dogs and pretzel nuggets, are available at ShopRite and your local grocer. And by Dodge, visit Dodge.com or your local dealer today. Metallica jamming during the Mariano ceremony, so a live version of Enter Sandman. Buster Posey takes up and away. We talked about this in the pregame show, Al. Is Andy thinking at any point right now that this is his final game, or is he so locked in that that's not even entering his mind?
Right now, there's no doubt about it. It's not entering his mind, Michael. He's such a competitor. You just look at him, the way he just peers in and knows what he wants to do, has a great game plan. But I would hope that maybe this game would dictate for him to step back, look at this big crowd, reflect just momentarily, just about what a career he's had. I mean, think about it, guys. Once upon a time when he was drafted.
Ground ball is short, Ryan.
We all think, our careers are going to be whatever they are, but he was a 22nd round draft pick in 1990 at a Deer Park High School. And look at the numbers, where he ranks, and the greatness of this organization, and what a career. Borderline Hall of Famer, I'm sure that'll be debated, etc., and all-time postseason winner. And I think, Michael, and I don't know how you were, Paul. I know you had the great moment during the World Series, and that was awesome. You talk about hair raising on your back. I think players don't get an opportunity to really take it in. And it's unfortunate because I think you're so grinded out of like it's a job and you have a responsibility and all that, and you just don't step back until it's over.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, Michael, you've been around baseball a lot. Other cities and other teams don't do this as well as the Yankees do because of the tradition and because of the history involved. I mean, they're just good at doing that and celebrating the players.
0-2 count on Pence. Broken bat. Chopper to short, Ryan. Two-way. I remember something that Derek Jeter's dad said when Derek was going for 3,000 hits. He said, I really have tried to tell Derek, don't think so much about the destination, but enjoy the journey. Enjoy getting there, he said. And for some reason, athletes have a hard time doing that.
Because of the scrutiny and the pressure and all this stuff. You know, I couldn't tell you how many times people would say, go on, have fun. You're playing baseball. Have fun.
Wasn't that the worst thing?
I mean,
you mean it's only fun when you win, or it's only fun when you do well? There's no fun when you strike out and lose the game.
It was a job. And unfortunately, Michael, that's the way, you know, if you cared about it and you had that kind of focus, it was hard to enjoy sometimes, truthfully. But Paul, I wanted to second what you just said. The Yankee organization, I mean, it's the envy of all for players to look. Aside from the run that you guys are part of, and as a fan from the 70s, and then of course the 60s and beyond. But how they treat their players, their ex-players, the tradition, the pride, all of that stuff that you learned as a youngster. I know you didn't come up through the minor leagues. I did. You bought in. You felt it. Mm-hmm. And now with the way they passed the baton, I thought what was cool about this, Michael, is that they didn't need 70s. They didn't need the 60s guys. They didn't. And as great as that was, and there's grandparents here that would love to see Whitey and Yogi and all that. It's Paul O'Neill now. It's Tino Martinez. It's that gave enough fans here to get their goosebumps. Reflect on that great tenure in the late 90s and early 2000s.
And it was important that everybody that was announced was connected to Mo because Yogi's in the house today. He came to the game. He's watching this, and Reggie Jackson's here. So it was just about that team that played with Mo, a connection to Mo, and I thought that was special. So he's come back from 3-0 to go full on Sandoval. And that one is hammered foul. Why don't we check out the Yankee defense, which is presented, as always, by Geico. You've got Soriano, Granderson, and Ichiro left to right in the outfield. Nunez, Ryan, Cano, and Reynolds third to first. And Stewart's behind the plate with Andrew Eugene Pettitte on the mound. And to show that there was no form, way, shape, or form that Andy took any spotlight away from Mo, as the ceremony was going on, Andy Pettitte and Larry Rothschild trudged out to the bullpen unnoticed. Nobody even saw as he was going to warm up because he has a job to do there. The 3-2 fouled straight back.
That's bad judgment right there, Michael. That ball was 50 feet from this booth, and you're reaching out there.
I just didn't want to flinch, so I did the complete opposite.
Either you had a big glove as a little kid, or you can't judge a fly ball.
Good at bat right here by Pablo Sandoval. Spoiling the pitcher's pitch.
Popped up. Ryan back. He makes the play, so he's involved in all three outs as Andy has pitched a perfect first 2 innings. We go to the bottom of the second. No score. Mariano Rivera Day, but the Yankees and the Giants as well. No score as we go to the bottom of the second inning, and we are joined by a very special guest. We don't get him up to the booth, and that's Jorge Posada.
Hello.
What's up, Jorge?
Hello.
So
that's all you got to say? Hello?
That's all I got. I saw your food back here, by the way.
Don't be putting your hands in there.
Alfonso Soriano will lead off here in the bottom of the second inning. Now, before we talk about Mo, I thought it was a toss-up between you, O'Neill, and Bernie for biggest hand. Who do you think? Who do you think wins that? You or O'Neill or Bernie?
Bernie don't know what happened.
Bernie he didn't even know where he was. They escorted him out.
So that's out of the way.
Fly ball left field. Perez fighting the sun, and he'll make the play. How cool was it to be on that field?
It was ridiculous. I got super emotional. Not emotional, but I felt the energy. I felt him. The way he was feeling, how nervous he got, and I was super nervous.
And how about he had you throw out the first pitch?
What was that?
Yeah.
I haven't thrown a ball in a while, and he wants me to throw the ball.
Well, I tell you what, we can tell, Jorge. That wasn't a strike.
I threw a cutter.
Yeah. And then he was pulling the, hey, come on.
Yeah, bring it down.
Here's Granderson. Now, Joe Girardi said he is the easiest, and I'm sure you weren't easy for him. A little bit of a loop there.
How'd that feel?
Well, yeah, it's a little tight.
Girardi said he's the easiest pitcher he ever caught. Do you agree?
Yes.
What made him so easy?
Well, Mariano, his location. How consistent he was with his location, his pitches. If you said here, he would put it there. If you said a little bit higher, he would put it there. Two-seamer, it was just, he's been, talking about flawless delivery, talking about a flawless, the way he takes care of himself, but his consistent pitches, the way he puts the ball.
Jorge, when we look at Mariano, we always ever talk about his cutter. But at what point during that period of time when you caught all those saves did it become more apparent that, I need to start throwing more two-seamers?
Well, he started throwing more two-seamers to right-handers. Right-handers were hitting well. They were pinch hitting right-handers to him, and we started throwing more two-seamers. Mel Stottlemyre taught him a different grip of a two-seamer, and that ball was really, really moving, really getting in on right-handed hitters.
Maybe that Edgar fella out in Seattle kind of started.
Edgar, Manny Ramirez comes to mind. Edgar hit him well, hard, but after that two-seamer started coming, Edgar did not hit him at all.
Gramson with a fly ball to left, and boy, is Perez battling the sun out there.
I tell you, this time of the year, you can even see the flagpoles on the field. It becomes very hard with the angle of the sun. I tell you, it's a bad feeling. You didn't have that as a catcher, Jorge. You never lost balls in the sun.
Well, you got a foul ball, right over here. Yeah, you get, not now, but during the summer, he was tough.
I was talking to Jorge in the dugout, and he said that O'Neill and Leiter have the best gigs in the world, and you'd like some of this, right? 23 games, maybe?
Yeah. Maybe
we wouldn't even need an SAP button. You could do it in Spanish at the same time.
Maybe 3 games. How about that?
Nunez with a high pop-up to left field. Jorge, you could stay another half inning, right?
Yeah,
that wouldn't be a bad deal.
Come back and have some pizza with me.
All right.
I'll be back.
We've played 2 here at the stadium. There's no score. Well, except for the 96 World Championship, Mariano was always on the mound for that last out. And, you know, we've talked to Paul about it. And Friday, Al said, you know, if Mariano's on our team in 2000, we win the World Series. How important was Mo to what you did, Jorge?
Mariano, you know, you talk about his consistency, you talk about, but also his leadership, his mind, where, you know, how he read the hitters. We were always in sync. You know, I would just have to like look at him, and he was kind of like come in, or he would like, you know, and I knew what he wanted to do. You know, you had that same relationship. It was kind of like I knew exactly what he was thinking in the mound.
Didn't you get the feeling sometimes? I mean, Mo had that win or lose attitude like an everyday player. And I don't mean anything bad by that, Al, but when some players don't pitch and stuff, they're really not in the game.
Yeah.
Mo takes it serious day in and day out about winning and losing. He really gets that part of the game.
Yeah, he was screaming at us in the clubhouse. You know, you were part of that. And he was like, "Come on, guys!" You know, kind of like, you know, he would be in the dugout because he didn't need to, you know, go to the bullpen. So he would be in the dugout for the first 3 innings because it was a most-win, you know, game, and he would be in there, and it would be like kind of neat to see Mariano care so much about winning.
Well, Jorge is with us, and obviously he's forever remembered as one of the core four. And as they say, and now there's one. And another guy who's pitching his final game at Yankee Stadium in the regular season is Andy Pettitte. So what was Andy like?
Yeah, I got to know Andy in 1991. We were in Oneonta, New York, and they said, "Go catch this lefty." He just came up from, I think he was throwing in down in rookie ball. So they called him up. We were in single A short season, and he's throwing me knuckleballs. He had a knuckleball on his repertoire, and
really?
He was pretty nasty. He hit me in the knee. And I'm like, what? You know, what's going on here? And he. There was something about Andy. I told my dad, 1991, I told my dad, this guy's going to be in the big leagues. You know, he cared, he ran. You know, he wanted it more than anybody else.
You, Mo, Derek, Andy, when you guys got together, did you ever dream this big, that it could ever result in all of this?
Never. You know, you talk about, you know, guys being together for so long, winning together. That's the thing. You know, you can be together and lose. It doesn't make it. You know, it's more. But winning together, being there for each other, and for so long, you know.
It sinks in much more now that you're away from the game.
It
right?
really does.
You take it for granted a little bit. Look at that guy right here.
I know. It really does. You look back, and you know, when you're sitting down and you watch the games a little bit, and you're like, wow, you know, I was a part of that. And you take, you know, when you're playing, you don't know what you're doing.
Do you enjoy the journey at all? We were talking about this earlier.
I enjoyed every minute of it.
But when you were in the middle of it, did you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because, I mean, you get 5 championships, and you look back, and that's what you think of, the World Series. You know, even the one in 2001 we lost, and even in the 2003 you lose. But you being a part of that makes your career a lot better.
I'll tell you the things that I remember were when you and Duque would be down there screaming in the tunnel during his starts. I miss that, Jorge. Those were fun.
Well, Andy looks determined to put on a show right here as he's worked a perfect 3 innings. This was after save 602. Mariano became the all-time saves leader, and a man who caught more of his saves than anybody else. Jorge Posada gave him a hug. Jorge, thanks a lot, man.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Rivera.
Some of the sights and sounds from the ceremony for Mariano Rivera. His number officially retired. It's on each side of the field. Number 42, never to be worn again in Major League Baseball. After Jackie Robinson's number was retired throughout baseball, only those that still had it were grandfathered in, and Mariano was that last player. Now the Yankees retire it for him as well. Neither pitcher has given up a hit here as Mark Reynolds leads off the Lincoln scoreboard 0-0. Jorge looks good. Retirement agrees with him.
He does. Jorge was such a good teammate, such a good friend. I mean, he was an intense player, and you just love to play with guys like that.
But was able to admit that he had fun doing it. The journey, as you say, Michael, with what Mr. Jeter reminds Derek about.
There's a strike. Bottom of the third inning, Tampa Bay leads Baltimore 1-0. Cleveland 3, Houston 2 now, bottom of the fourth inning. Fouled away. It'll be the bottom third of the Yankee order, Reynolds, Ryan, and Stewart.
Saw that World Series patch on Pettitte's arm there, and I mean, such a different feeling this time of year when you're getting ready to go into those playoffs and, you know, make that run towards the World Series. And where they are this year, it just nothing worked for them. Defense, offense, pitching, nothing.
High fly ball, deep left. Perez back, still back, looking up. See ya! First hit of the game, first run of the game. 1-0 Yankees.
Michael, I was going to help you with that because you were taking that real slow. He killed that ball. That ball went off the Zoo York side out there. Tell you, Reynolds, he's got that home run pop. He's got that swing, that slide uppercut. When he does connect, not much doubt about it. Doink.
There's a strike to Ryan.
You paid Ryan quite a compliment. I mean, just you're so impressed with this guy's defense.
Wow, he can pick it with anybody I've seen in a long time. Obviously, he has to hit a little bit more, but he's pretty special with the glove. Pops that one up, and a nice play by Abreu on the run in foul territory for the first out.
Well, you look at Brendan Ryan. You could have a guy that maybe he's not a 250 or 70 hitter, Brandon Belt, coasted back. But that's, you know, look, you get a chance to solidify the defense, and there's no doubt, Michael, you're right. I mean, for a window, for about a 4 or 5 year window, Brendan Ryan, he was the best fielding shortstop. It's like, hold it there.
I know nothing. I see nothing.
I don't think he knows you're in the house.
I tell you one thing, though, and to your point now is, you know, you can take your shortstop's offensive numbers if you can make it up somewhere else. Yep. And, you know, if you've got a guy, a second baseman that's going to hit 30 home runs and drive in 120, is Robbie Cano on the other side of the infield. I mean, you can play a defensive player and just have that be one of your strengths.
Stewart pops it up. and out of play.
I mean, in truth, guys, I know that this is late in the season, but it really is remarkable that the Yankees are still where they are, with all of the to not regurgitate the injuries and what's transpired, but some of the moves that were made by Cashman, Ryan for sure, Mark Reynolds. You see the offense picking up in the last 3 games.
Got to be honest with you, regurgitate. I never thought on this telecast coming in today I'd hear that.
Well, that's not that sophisticated.
I don't think you meant it was sophisticated.
Well, we could regurgitate the numbers and those who were hurt and DL and all the stuff that's transpired through this season.
The 2-1. I think the organization as a whole has done a good job in replenishing what needed to be replenished as the season moved on. And everybody has worked together to bring people in, and here we are, and there's 7 games left, including this one, and they've still got a shot. Is it a great shot? No, let's be honest, not a great shot right now, but it's a shot. And with all the man hours they've lost to injury, the fact they have a shot is pretty special. That one is lined to Adrianza for the second out.
I tell you what, if you don't go to the game or you don't see the game, you still wake up in the morning or you go on your iPhone and you check the score, because you still know that the Yankees, if they can finish out, you still want to know if they won or lost, because if you're a Yankee fan, you know in the back of your mind there's always a chance.
Well, and the fact that they are now having an opportunity to go 3 games against Tampa Bay, and I'm with you now, the fact that the Baltimore Orioles are behind the Yankees, along with Kansas City is also behind the Yankees, they only have Cleveland and Texas in front of them, with Tampa Bay leading the way. That's great. 3 games straight ahead with the team that's the wild card winner so far.
But the Cleveland team is the one that scares you a little bit, because you're 4 behind Tampa Bay in the loss column, and you have 3 games left with them, so you don't control things in that way. And Cleveland has an easy schedule.
Yeah, but you do remember now there's 2 wild cards. So if Cleveland, just
right, but Cleveland has the easiest schedule.
Yeah, stretch right in, then you just do it any way you can. But again, going back and winning every single day is the only opportunity you have at making this fun.
The 1-1.
Just looking at the schedule, guys, who would have thought with the Houston Astros going to the American League, the last 3 games, the Yankees down in Houston will have playoff implication, while watching Cleveland up in Minnesota for their last 4 games.
The 1-2. And the 3-2 pitch. Foul back here, still 3-2. Andy Pettitte has a 1-0 lead now after 3. Ichiro works a walk. As fans, we sit here and go, okay, Mariano's retiring, and that's sad for us because we don't get a chance to watch him anymore. Andy's retiring. But for the person, it's got to be gut-wrenching. And all I could think of is you, Al. You decided to retire after a spring training game. Yep. You just wanted that one more. You pitched for the USA. Yep. And Torrey took you out, and you got emotional when you came out of the game.
Completely.
I mean, it's like, I don't want to be too dry. It's almost like dying twice.
Yeah, you don't know how you react to it. And I guess in my case, it certainly didn't have a tenth of the career of the guys that we're honoring here. But it's a long look. 23 years, 19 seasons in the big leagues. There was a lot of ups and downs and good moments, great moments, bad moments. And I felt it, yeah. In that spring training game, as you described, and the one that was really that hit me was Gil Patterson, who's the pitching coordinator for the Yankees, came over to me, and I broke down because he was there with me and Oneana and all through the system, and a good friend. And then Gator comes out and takes me out, and it was. And Rod Guidry was in the rotation when I first got to the big leagues.
How great is that? I guess you didn't really have a chance to reflect, because your last game, not only was it your last game, it was an emotional game where you guys lost the
Game 7 of the World Series. And I remember walking out, it's over, you're dejected, you just lost the World Series. I walked out, and my wife was with some friends, and she was crying, and I don't know if she crying because I retired or because we lost, so I was kind of confused.
Right.
But, there is a lot of emotion anytime you're leaving something that at that time when you retire, you've done more than half of your life. I mean, you start playing baseball when you're 5, and then you give it up at 35, 40, whatever. I mean, that's a lot of years. The guy right there is giving a lot to the game also.
And they're going out on their terms, guys, as you did too, Paul.
Well, I tell you one thing, when you hear that Mariano comes back, and he's had a great year, and Andy Pettitte too. So.
Runner goes, and he is gunned down by Sanchez to end the inning. But the Yankees get on the board. How'd they do it? Mark Reynolds wraps one into the bullpen and left center field. With that swing, the Yankees lead 1-0. One 866-NY quits for free help today. Here's the question. What is the only Major League franchise that Mariano Rivera does not have a save against?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Now, he has appeared against every franchise. One of them he does not have a save against.
No,
the Yankee. Go ahead.
That's not the obvious answer, right?
Which would be what?
His own team.
It's not the Yankees.
Okay.
It's not the obvious. But that's a good guess by you.
Thank
Way
you.
ahead of me there. Wow.
So you're tricking us.
Pitch to Pagan is outside. Yankee scoreboard crew has done an unbelievable job. As you see the Benjamin Moore scoreboard, 1-0 Yankees. Between innings, they're playing tributes to Mariano from everybody. At Magic Johnson up there and Don Mattingly and members of the Red Sox this past half inning. They had football players. And they had Tom Brady, and the crowd booed. Then they had the Jets quarterback, Mark Sanchez, and the crowd booed really loud. Then Victor Cruz got a nice hand, and Justin Tuck as well. But really nice tributes throughout the game that the scoreboard has obviously been putting together for the entire season.
I thought I missed something. I went back in the booth. I heard a big boo, and I did. I looked up, and Tom Brady was on the board.
That's one of those admiration boos.
Yeah.
I don't think Sanchez, that was an admiration boo. And the 3-1. Chopped to Ryan. One away. Well, it's time for the Cold Hard Fact, brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. How about that combo? Andy Pettitte and Mariano Rivera, they've combined for 72 wins, the most of any closer and starter in history. Second is Welch and Eckersley at 57. And then Rivera's third with Mike Messina.
And Eckersley's fourth. I mean, there's only two closers up there, but that ain't even close. 57 to 72.
Remember, everybody, the save became an official stat in 69, so that one is grounded to Ryan.
I'll tell you one thing, the guys better find somebody else. He seems to be gobbling up everything over there. And so far, so good for Andy Pettitte. Now, it looks like his breaking ball is on. He's using it to get ahead and to get guys out.
Two types of breaking balls, Paul. You know what? He's kind of abandoned his cutter. I'm seeing more 87, 88 mile an hour. I don't think it's a fastball because he's thrown some 91s. So 2-3 different speeds on his breaking ball.
1-0 Yankees. Here's Brandon Belt. Fouled away.
It's a straight fastball. We had Gino up there, Andy Pettitte's father,
There's
Willie
Andy's
Randolph.
dad. Yeah. Nelson.
Willow.
All the grounds crew wearing Moe's number 42. Fouled away. Nunez couldn't get there as they're playing Belt to pull. That guy's a great guy. He's seen so much baseball. Proudly sporting his number 42.
Shaking his head. Can't believe Moe's gone.
The 1-2.
Usually as a lefty, he got a good fastball to hit there. He fouled it off. You gotta imagine you're going to see something spin away from you. They're breaking ball with that cutter away. Just missed one.
Doug Addings, home plate umpire. Let's take a look here. Nice slider down and away. Chris Stewart. Yeah, it's off the plate.
The 2-2. 3-2. Foul tip. He's been a rock his last 8 starts. He hasn't had much support. 3-1, 2.02. Really, he's been the Yankees' best starting pitcher. And the payoff.
It's the at-bats that have to frustrate you as a pitcher, too, Al. Huh? I mean, guys just battling up there, but it just, you keep having to throw strikes. You keep having to throw good strikes because he's on your pitches, and your pitch count goes up.
And he's fighting off the good pitch, and that's the one where you get a little bit concerned because you said if he's fighting off the good one, I got to keep executing.
Strike 3, Belt down looking. Andy wins that battle. 12 up, 12 down. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. 1-0 Yankees.
Actually, if you buy a Mariano shirt, you get one free right there.
Nice. All right, let's see the answer to that New York State Smokers Quit Line quiz. What's the only team that Mo doesn't have a save against?
I'm going to say Arizona.
Giants.
He has one against
Oh,
Giants.
yeah, that's
He
right.
got one in the series that year?
No, it's San Fran.
Pirates.
Pirates.
He's got 2 wins, though. A-Rod swings and misses. He was at the plate when Ichiro got thrown out stealing, or trying to steal. Benjamin Moore scoreboard 1-0 on the Mark Reynolds home run. Yankees lead.
That was a tough question.
That was. It's a good question, though. Perfect for the day. Count 1-2. Now he's pitched in ballparks without a save. County Stadium, Miller Park, so he got his save against the Brewers in the Bronx. RFK Stadium, and he didn't get a save at the Tokyo Dome. Save in 32 different ballparks.
Dropped Tokyo Dome.
Swing and a miss. A-Rod down on strikes. Look at Tino. And Matsu's talking to Tino, but Tino's got an earpiece in.
Doing business. They put the phone down.
There you go. Godzilla. We love playing.
It was large. Michael and I were talking. They used to put his face on planes over in Japan. I mean, he was large.
Here's Robinson Cano. Count 1-0. Cleveland leads Houston 3-2, top of the 6th. Tampa Bay still over Baltimore 1-0, top of the 5th. Texas and Kansas City 0-0, top of the 3rd. Now the Texas and Kansas City game, well, that helps the Yankees, because if the Yankees keep winning, one of those teams is going to lose. Now, you've already passed Kansas City, so you're rooting for Kansas City now.
Right.
So you can make up ground on Texas. I mean, so many things have to fall into place. It's not impossible, but it's going to be very difficult. A lot of things have to happen for the Yankees to get in, but as you guys keep saying, they got to keep winning. So you can allow those things to happen.
I don't know the metrics that's used, Michael, but there's statistics everywhere. The percentage right now is 4.5%.
Okay.
Based on where they are, the Yankees, making one of the wild cards.
Oh, turned him loose on 3-0, and he rifles a single through the right side. Well, here are the standings. The Rays are in the first wild card, a half game over the Indians. Rangers a half game behind the Indians, and that's in the win column, so they can make that up. So they're essentially tied. You look at the loss column, the Yankees, Royals, and the Orioles all have 73 losses.
I think the added wild card has been great. And not just that we're looking at these additional teams that are fighting for a spot, is that what it means. I mean, think about the Central right now. If you're Cincinnati, St. Louis, or Pittsburgh, you don't want to be the wild card.
No.
Not too long ago, you'd strategize, well, for a wild card, it's okay. We'll play, Team X.
There was guys that would give up a division to be the wild card to start setting up their pitching for the playoffs.
Yep.
Now, I mean, it's one or done.
Yep. No, you do not want to be that team. So that I think of all the wild card situation, what's going on in the NL Central with the Cardinals and the Pirates and the Reds, that's going to be fun to watch.
Soriano, fly ball center. Pagan makes the play. And Cano hustles back to first.
Trying to figure out Pettitte. I mean, what do you see? I mean, not overpowering. I mean, high 80s for his fastball. He's got a decent little breaking ball.
You know what he does, Paul? And since his near perfect game, his ERA has been over 5, but his down and away zone doesn't have great velocity. We're watching here. It's upper 80, low 90. Throws 2 different breaking balls and a changeup, but he really is good at when he's right, and he's been pretty good since being called up. Is a down and away zone, and it's different pitches. It's a little sinker, it's a slider or a curveball, and that changeup. And you know that down and away. If a pitcher can perfect that down and away spot, he gets a lot of off the end of the bat type swings.
Also get a lot of called strikes because, you know, as a hitter you go up there, you know, a perfect pitch down and away, strike 1, sure, you can have it. Strike 2, you can have it. Now I'll go out there and try to get it with 2 strikes as you have to, but you know, you're looking to something early in the count to really drive. So if you can just pepper that outside corner, you know, you get a lot of easy called strikes.
I mean, when you think about it, I mean, this has been a good story for Pettitte. There's no doubt about it. He was signed by the Mets. He was traded for Carlos Delgado in 05 to the Marlins, and then another trade to the D-backs. He was released. So played with the Mariners, went to the Mexican League. I mean, you know, he's been around.
Two outs in the 9th inning, near perfect game. And Hunter Pence went all out, but he loses it with that one.
Wow, you go from history to great game, kid.
Two and two.
So you like that, even, Paul? There you see the resume there, signed him with the free agent of the Mets in 2001. Oh, there's some guys when you watch, like that pitch right there, that's a little cutter middle of the plate to Granderson. I mean, it looks hittable. That just delivery, hide the baseball, etc. Tough to pick up.
I mean, that's, you don't ever know it. You watch a guy on video too, you get up to the plate, but some guys you just think, man, I can have some good at bats, and then you get up there and you just don't see the ball, or it doesn't fit, you know, your timing or whatever. But to me, that's why I kind of ask you. I mean, there's nothing overpowering here. He kind of opens up, kind of shows you the ball. For a lefty, should be a pretty good at bat.
Runner goes. Swung on it, missed, and Granderson down on strikes. No runs, a hit, no errors, and one man left on base. We're going to the 5th inning. It's 1-0 Yankees. The pregame, and remember, after the game, Exit Sandman, a special program that we're going to have on the Mariano festivities. So you've got to stay tuned for that. But we got a big game going on right now. It's 1-0 Yankees, and Andy Pettitte goes to the 5th inning. And there's a strike to Buster Posey. Andy made his Major League debut April 29th, 1995 at Kansas City. He actually relieved Melito Perez. And the first batter he faced was Wally Joyner, who had a fly ball to center field. Bernie was in center. Yankees won that game 10-3. Now, I did not know when Jorge told us that he used to have a knuckleball.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. I mean, most pitchers mess around with it.
Now, Mo's debut was almost a month later, May 23rd of 95 at California. He was the starting pitcher. And the first batter was Tony Phillips, who struck out. But Mo took the loss. The Angels won 10-0. Chuck Finley with a 2-hit shutout, 15 strikeouts.
Yeah, I probably struck out a few times. Chuck Finley, he wasn't a fun at bat for lefties. I'll tell you that right now.
He did a little split.
Split finger, threw hard enough to get in on you. Couldn't pick it up. You're right. He was tall. Hunter Payne, you talk about people make fun of practice swings and stuff. Now you tell me, if you watch one of his practice swings in the on deck circle, we'll have to do it later in the game.
There's a fly ball to Granderson, but you see Hunter Pence now come up at the plate.
His practice swings are just, you can't quite figure him out. But I know one thing you can figure out is this guy is an all effort. He goes out there, he plays hard. Look at this. That's kind of the way you hit it. Kind of the way he swings.
They were the complete opposite. You used to do the chop down,
stay right
chop
on
wood,
top
right?
of it. Yeah, but boy, he's had a great year. A high energy guy, plays hard, good numbers.
High drive right at Nunez.
That practice swing worked. It's just it got bad aimer. Not enough of those for a pitcher's eyes, huh? Ball hit hard right at somebody.
Had no pride when it came to an out. Not at the big league level. Yeah, look at this right here. Boom! Right at Nunez.
You know, you gave yourself some grief for the Chuck Finley 15Ks. You had the day off that day. I guess you had Finley flu?
See? Yeah. See, they felt sorry for me that day.
Count 1-0 to Sandoval.
Tell you one thing, Al, I mean, you're one pitch away from just cruising through the first 5 innings. And he's throwing a couple change-ups this inning, but so far his breaking ball been very, very good.
Well, that pitch right there, Paul, 2-0. You got a free swinger. Guy swings up from the on-deck circle at Pablo Sandoval. Comes back with a 2-0 curveball. Obviously, we have a long way here, but it'll be interesting to watch how Andy Pettitte, as good as he's been, to pitch a little backwards in fastball counts. See it often with seasoned veteran pitchers.
And there's the first base runner. And you could hear the crowd groan. 14 straight retired. So Sandoval reaches. He was 3-0 in the second, and Andy battled back to get him to pop to short, but this time he does walk him.
And you just look at Andy Pettitte and his emotion out there, and you can just tell how much concentration, how many things are going on in his mind right now, just in between pitches and talking to himself. And
I mean, you talk about the honesty and sincerity of Andy Pettitte in his press conference the other day. They said about, you know, being a Hall of Famer or something. He said, no, I feel like every at bat was a grind to get outs. I mean, you know, that's been the look. That look right there. Scatter report. You know, what I'm trying to do to stay away from the barrel of the bat. All that. No, I think he's being humble. Obviously, he's had some great seasons and can dominate a game.
I'll tell you one thing. Hector Sanchez is a good at bat against lefties. He's got big numbers against lefties, and that cut fastball right there just ate him up.
And the 0-2. Fly ball, left field. Soriano battling it, and he'll make the play for the final out of the fifth. No runs, no hits, no errors, and one man left. We're halfway through. It's 1-0 Yanks. Rolling in at the Hyundai Truckload of Savings event now through September 30th by Benjamin Moore for everything that matters, and by your Tri Honda dealers. Hurry to your local Tri Honda dealer for great deals on the 2013 CRV. Big crowd here at the ballpark on Mariano Rivera Day. Mayor Michael Bloomberg declared that day throughout the city of New York. Andy Pettitte's taking a hold of this day as well, as he leads 1-0 through 5 innings. Allowed just one base runner, the walk to Sandoval. And Pettitte has not done a bad job either. Just one run, and that was a home run off the bat of Mark Reynolds leading off the third. It'll be Nunez leading off. Nunez, Reynolds, and Ryan. And a strike. Oh, and 2. And he chases a pitch up in the zone. 1 out. Hey, for 19 seasons, he's been a faithful present, a legendary champion, and a true Yankee. Later today, Yes celebrates the greatest closer in history with our tribute show, Mariano Rivera Exit Sandman. Don't miss this exclusive special featuring candid interviews and a career retrospective premiering today, immediately following the game, only on Yes.
Exit Sandman. Who came up with it?
Exit?
Exit Sandman, because Enter Sandman obviously is the song that he came into. Exit Sandman. Pretty smart. Pretty cool.
They had like 600-700 focus groups.
Oh, was that right?
Yeah.
Let's see. Enter. What should we come up with? How about Exit?
You know what? Don't get me started up here. We're in a good game here, and we don't want to get off track, all right?
Oh, and 2.
Tell you what, you just look at some kind of big inning here. Just gets a couple guys out for Pettitte in some kind of trouble. Other than the home run he's been cruising to. Too hard to pitch your last home game in a pennant race with a 1-0 lead, huh?
Your pitch is a win or loss. Now, just watching here, and I know you mentioned about it, Paul. Pettitte, you look at his previous at bat. A couple little sliders and an 87, high enough that looked hittable. Sometimes when guys don't throw that extra velocity, it looks hittable, like the pitch that Mark swung through 2 pitches before.
Ground ball left side, backhanded, and firing is Adrianza to get the out. 2 away.
Nice play, Adrianza. Watch here, sets his feet. I know Mark Reynolds isn't the quickest guy in the big leagues. Good, strong arm. Nice play.
It shows confidence right there because he planted everything, and you believe in your arm strength. Didn't rush anything or threw off balance, set his feet, made a good throw.
So here is Brendan Ryan. And a strike.
Well, there's the frustrating pitch right there, Alan. That can change the whole at bat. People don't understand it. Umpires don't understand it. But strike one or ball one is a big difference. That ball, strike one, off the plate away, in my opinion.
There's a base hit for Ryan.
Set him up to hit a bullet.
He's going to go for 2. And the throw is wide. He put pressure on Perez, who did not make a perfect throw, so he turns a single into a double because of his hustle.
Well, he gets out of the box. First of all, he has gets a good pitch to hit, laces at the left field. The ball just kind of hangs there. And you see right out of the box, you don't know as a hitter if it's going to make it to the wall or not. But it's out in a good position to make a good turn. And if you put pressure on the defense, make them make a perfect throw, a lot of times this is what happens. Good job by Ryan.
Yeah, and you mentioned it, Michael. That's 0 hesitation out of the box that got him to second base.
Nice view from the Mohegan Sun Sports Bar in center field. And at the plate, Chris Stewart. Ryan leads off second.
Boy, this would be a huge run. All of a sudden, you've got 2 outs, nobody on, and boom, if you could throw a couple hits up, is to steal a run here. Find yourself ever relaxing. I know it's hard, and you always talk about it. You get 2 quick outs as a pitcher. Find yourself ever kind of kick yourself almost. You relax, and before you know, you've given up a couple hits with 2 outs.
You see it often. I don't know if it's relaxed. It's just that third out. You got to have that same intensity as you do, knowing that leadoff batters really can hurt you, especially leadoff walks. So yeah, maybe there's a little bit of that, especially with 2 quick outs. If you 3 or 4 pitches and you already got 2 outs.
I kind of think of it as a hitter. When you're 3-0, you kind of turn it off because you know you're taking, and then it's sometimes it's hard to turn it back on that quick in a 3-1 pitch.
Popped up, right field. Pence makes the play for the final out of the 5th. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 man left. We're going to the 6th inning. It is 1-0 Yanks. very important game for them, 1-0. Andy Pettitte has been close to perfect through 5 innings. He'll face Abreu, Adrianza, and Pagan here in the 6th. The only run in the game, a home run by Mark Reynolds. Pitch outside. Fouled away. Now here's a lottery pitching matchup of today's pitchers. So Pettitte, 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 run. Andy, 5 innings, no hits, no runs. Walked 1. That was Sandoval in the 5th and struck out 4. Grounded to third. It's a foul ball.
You know, that's a ground ball, foul ball. Doesn't mean much. But I mean, Nunez looked really comfortable at third base. I mean, he made that play like it was nothing. A couple good plays on Friday.
You know, with the way the games have been this weekend, but watching infield practice. I noticed today there wasn't practice, hitting practice, and the opposing team was hitting grounders to the infielders. But Mick Kelleher's been hitting a lot of ground balls to Eduardo, and I think, you know, to your point, the comfort of him now, you know, being at third base as opposed to, you know, fielding ground balls at short. It looks like Brendan Ryan is going to be the guy there, certainly through the remainder of this season. But there's Mick. I mean, good 15 minutes or so of hitting grounders to Eduardo.
Ground ball to third. Nice stretch there by Reynolds into foul territory. 1 away.
Again, you see Andy Pettitte. I mean, in the old days, this is what you saw. Ground balls to shortstop, over and third base, over and over again, with that ball kind of bearing in on you.
You know, talking about Mick Kelleher trying to get Eduardo's, there you see on the Yesmo Mercedes-Benz, trying to get his arm slot in a different place because he's had some problems thrown across the diamond. You know, you think at the major league level that all of the work is done in the minor leagues. That's not true. There's a lot of work done here before games.
Count now 2-0 on Ire Adrianza. Count 2-1. Two and two.
I'll tell you, Al, early in the game, it was all breaking balls. Started mixing some changeups. Now he's going back into that cutter, and he's getting in on the right-handed hitter. So he's really changed through the lineup almost every time. Very difficult as a hitter. See back in with that cutter again.
That one is driven out to left field, giving chase to Soriano. He turns and looks. See ya. A home run for Adrianza. First hit against Pettitte, first run, and it's 1-1.
Well, you threw that cutter a lot, and you know when that cutter doesn't quite get to the inside corner, in on their hands, very easy for a right-hander to get the bat hit to it. See, he hasn't missed with too many, but he missed with this. He just did not get to the inside part of the plate. Well, it's kind of hung right there.
Yeah. You know, you nailed it. You said it. When you get a guy cutter and Andy not throwing as hard, that it's got to be in off the plate 6 inches. And that ball is middle of the plate. Adrianza's first home run
in his career, yep. And the first hit against Andy in the count 0-1.
Talked to Bruce Bochy on Friday and was talking about some of the things that had gone wrong, and he really mentioned Pagan when he went down and missed some time. That, you know, the team, it's just not the same team. He means a lot defensively. Kind of a spark plug for him.
Ground ball, backhanded by Ryan. He sets and fires.
What a play. I'm starting to believe your scouting report, boy. That was an intentional one-hopper. to first base. And the first time I ever saw this was in Cincinnati when I got called up, and Davey Concepcion kind of invented this play because it was on the old AstroTurf where you could actually, you know, bounce it over there. And right here, knows he's going away. He intentionally gives him a long one-hopper. Good play.
And there's the strike to Juan Perez.
Talked about the difference in the home run and the difference right there. That's the cutter that gets to the inside off the plate. Nothing you can do with it, but it's got to be so fine. And then you look back here, see where this ball ends up.
Swing and a miss, got him. But the Giants finally get to Pettitte. They get their first hit. It was a home run by Adrianza. We go to the bottom of the sixth. It's 1-1. Rivera bobblehead night, the fourth in the series, presented by AT&T. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com, visit the stadium ticket window, Yankees clubhouse shops, or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. All right, we go to the bottom of the sixth inning, all knotted at one. Top of the Yankee order, starting with Ichiro Suzuki. And the count is 0-1. Ichiro's 0 for 1 with a walk, was caught stealing. And now 0-2. And the right-hander deals. Fouled away.
Fight mode right here for Ichiro, getting behind. Figure out any way to get on base, lead off this inning. You get deeper into the game, pitch counts go up. Pettitte 80.
Yeah, pitch counts for young guys at the end of the season. Andy Pettitte's on a pitch count of his own, because as you get closer towards 100, you hope that this game is decided offensively for you, that you have a few runs where you've pitched well and you can get it to the bullpen. Change up there. You took something off and you saw the ball really tail away.
You mentioned this, Paul. Every batter gets, you see that little, actually a little cutter it's backed up. Kind of change up that stayed away, but every hitter gets at least, I think, one pitch somewhere. Each row had two fastballs there that just pulled off a little.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. There's not too many at-bats that you ever went back to the dugout and didn't think, I had a couple good pitches to hit. And, I don't care if it was Randy Johnson, Pedro Martinez. I mean, it was, you got one.
Now, how did you feel when the two guys you mentioned, or the superior guys, when you miss it? Like right there, that's outer half.
Good pitch to
thigh
hit.
High middle, and he fouls it off. I get it's part of the game, but do you feel like, that was my one?
Yeah, I got to feel that, you, Randy Johnson, guys that are good, have good stuff, are going to make their pitches sooner or later. You just missed one.
Catch is made by Belt. A lot of the stats that we get here during the broadcast are from the Elias Sports Bureau, and Peter and Tom Hurt are such an integral part of Elias, and everybody here at Yes wanted to pass along our condolences. They lost their dad earlier this week, Emil Hurt, so the family is mourning this week, and we send along our condolences. So 2 away, and that's going to bring up Cano.
Careful here if you're Robbie, because you know it's 2 outs, nobody on. You see the situation of the game, and he's such a good hitter at when he sprays the ball around. He kind of get in home run mode here. You get a little pull happy, and Pettitte, beautiful. I say Pettitte really likes to use that outside part of the plate, so you don't want to get away from lining that ball to left. Robbie, you got to let me get this stuff in before you line one to left. Ball up, tailing away. Look at that. Hit on the ball. It's a beautiful swing.
Here's Alfonso Soriano, 0 for 2. Fly ball to left, fly ball to center.
See Robbie over there trying to intentionally lean out there just to get a little attention. Sometimes if you do that, you pull a little attention from the pitcher, make a mistake to the hitter. Too many base runners today, and you used to throw from the stretch a lot. Didn't you, even from the bullpen and stuff, did you come in and throw from the stretch?
Warming up.
That was it? See, I'm wrong.
No. When you know what? Greg Maddux had said this to me, and it made sense that when you have to make a pitch, what are you doing? You winding up, or you coming from the stretch? So this was years into my career, and it made sense. So much of my warm-ups prior to a game was from the stretch, because
that's going to be the
tough
tougher
time,
pitches.
Runners on base, you walk a guy, second and third, whatever it is, you're going to be coming from the stretch. And there is definitely, without a doubt, a difference in tempo and rhythm for most pitchers.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. My point was Pettitte hasn't given up many hits, has not pitched from the stretch a lot today. All of a sudden he's 3-0.
And they turn Soriano loose on 3-0, and he fouls it away.
No, that's a good point, Paul. I mean, how often do you see a guy just dominating, cruising through his nice wind-up delivery, whatever it is? Some guys go overhead and have different mechanisms in their tempo, and then now here you got to come from the stretch. I mean, it's a good problem to have. It means that you've done
pretty well.
You're dominating. Nobody's on base.
And a walk to Soriano, putting runners on first and second with 2 outs. And that's going to bring up Granderson.
Yeah, I can't imagine with the short porch. I know that Soriano is as hot as any hitter in baseball since that trade, but to me it looked like the team was just pitching around with the 3-0 with Soriano swinging. It's a big spot here for Granderson.
You've had an opportunity last inning, two outs for the men on second, another big opportunity in a 1-1 game. You're not going to.
That was lined to right field. It is a foul ball. Now thinking, okay, what pitch do I throw now?
There's that pitch. Get it. Barrel it up. Keep it fair.
Oh, 2.
A little breaking ball there. You figure if you're out front a little bit, you get that breaking ball in a little bit more. Left-handed hitters have a big tendency to go for that ball low and in, down and in.
Granderson down on strikes. No runs a hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We're going to the 7th. It's 1-1.
You talk about domination. Like the slider, curveball combination, his fastball's been upwards of 91 miles an hour. Has really done a nice job. The only mistake right there to Adrianza, the young rookie, left the slider out over, but boy, he's been just carving up these giant hitters. Here it is, 1-1 ball game.
Brandon Belt takes outside as we go to the 7th. Grounded to first. Reynolds is there. Shattered bat and all. 1 out.
I'll tell you what, when you look down, every once in a while as a fielder, you know, there's a swing in the barrel. If you watch Cano's reaction on this, he didn't even know where the ball was, because you all of a sudden you see it. Good that Reynolds did, but you see it and then you pick up the barrel of the bat and you forget to track the ball. Look, Robbie, he didn't even know where the ball was.
How much of a factor the sun into the shade hitting her?
Tougher to hit, obviously, to field, but you know, you just don't pick up the ball as well. Either way, your eyes just don't adjust that quick.
The 1-0 to Posey. There's a strike.
And it's more of a factor now, this time of the year, Paul, because of the sun being lowered.
So. Yeah, I think the angle of the sun makes it, just especially in the outfield, much tougher.
Saw the Cadillac scoreboard at 1-1, count now 2-1 on Buster Posey.
Yogi, see it gets late early out there or something like that. Late in the year, that's what happens. That sun gets in your eyes a lot quicker.
And the 2-2. Caught by Reynolds. Boy, when you're having a tough time, nothing goes right. Buster Posey is one of the best players in the game. 2 for his last 32 after this line drive.
Yeah. 296. I mean, he was well over 300. And like we talked on Friday night, the last thing you want to do is go into a little funk at the end of the year and not end up where you wanted to be, and that's over 300.
But reigning National League MVP, 336 batting average.
Batting champion at one time, right?
Yeah, last year.
Catcher, that doesn't happen very often.
Cleveland 7, Houston 2, bottom of the 7th. Texas and Kansas City 0-0, top of the 6th. Tampa Bay now leads Baltimore 3-0, bottom of the 6th.
It's a tough time of the game. So late, you just hate to be, you know, you would love to see your offenses break out. You know, every game we talk about being so important, and you don't want to lose a game on, you know, a fluke play or a home run to somebody. It just could be an end of your season at this point.
The 1-2. 2-2. He's thrown 100 or more pitches in 4 straight starts. That's the longest streak he's had since 2009. Not saving anything, obviously. Foul back here.
Well, when you think about his last start, Michael, up in Toronto, that disheartening, ended up getting a loss. 2 outs in the 7th inning and taken out.
Mr. Pettitte, Andy's dad there in the white, talking to Joe Torre. Swing and a miss. Pence down on strikes. Well, this is his last start at Yankee Stadium. He's going out strong. He pitches a 1-2-3 7th inning at the end of 6.5. It's time for the 7th inning stretch. But we'll stay right here to honor America in the Bronx.
Please rise and remove your caps. And please direct your attention to the area behind home plate. And welcome 2 honored guests of the New York Yankees. United States Army E-7, Alan Bowlesby Jr., who served in Operation Iraqi Freedom. And United States Marine Corps Captain Brian Lowe, who served in Operation Enduring Freedom. The Yankees say thank you for your sacrifice and service to our nation. Now, please join in Kate Smith's rendition of God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the ocean.
Brought to you by your local Nissan dealer. Both pitchers have been extraordinary. Andy Pettitte just one hit, and that was a home run by Adrianza, which was his first big league home run. Mark Reynolds solo home run in the third inning, the only run that Pettitte has given up. And Andy Pettitte, in his final regular season home start, 7 innings, 1 walk, just a 1 hit, and 6 strikeouts. You see him pitch like this, Paul, and you go, well, why? He can still pitch.
Yeah, it becomes the mental part. Just can you deal with it another year, another training in the off season, and another year of not seeing your kids play. And he's got one child in college, and there's too many other things in life pulling at him right now.
There's a couple of people that are pretty close to him that have tried to talk him out of it. You see the Cadillac scoreboard, and a guy that I know very well that's close with Andy, he said, no, this time it's for real. There's no talking him out of it. He said, because he could pitch 2 more years. The 0-1. Grounded up the middle and through for a base hit for Nunez.
This is the way you want to start things off. I mean, Nunez takes this ball right up the middle. And ideally, you get something going, give Pettitte a lead for the 8th. Let it close. Let Mo close on his own day. What a wonderful way to end this game, but far from that at this point.
See, the day has got a bit more finality to it for Andy. He's not pitching again at Yankee Stadium unless the Yankees make the playoffs. Mo still has that 3-game set against Tampa Bay, which also gives some importance to the Thursday. I know a lot of people want to be in the ballpark for that day because that could be the last day that they see Mo pitch in person. His home run, his 20th. Just 11 players with 20 home runs each season since, I believe that was 2009. Check that, 2008. And that's the only one for the Yanks. And that was the first hit for the Yanks in the game. They've had 3 more since. Check that, 4 more since with the hit to by Nunez.
Those pitches you talked about a couple of times, Al, ball that you foul off and you just close your eyes and think, why? I just missed it. And it happens a lot as a hitter. I mean, you can't hit them all, but look at this. Ball just sits right there over the middle of the plate. Just didn't square it up on the barrel.
Hanging slider, got away with it. You look at Mark Reynolds at 20 home runs. He's been basically an all-or-nothing type hitter in his career. Here's a guy who's led the league in strikeouts and admits that he doesn't compromise his swing in a 2-strike approach. Has complimented Kevin Long and helping him with his stride. Is it that difficult? I know you battled to have a 2-strike approach.
No, I think it was easy for me because I like to use left field and up the middle so much, and that kind of is a 2-strike approach to start with. But I mean, you have to shorten up in certain situations. Men in scoring position, especially, you have to shorten up and get runs in.
Reynolds swings and misses. All right, for 19 seasons, he has been a faithful presence, a legendary champion, and a true Yankee. Later today, Yes celebrates the greatest closer in history with our tribute show, Mariano Rivera Exit Sandman. Don't miss this exclusive special featuring candid interviews and a career retrospective. It premieres today immediately following the game, only on Yes.
Beautiful sight there, Michael. You see that?
It's a great haul. I got a picture of you in there.
Pretty nice. Hung myself.
Here's Brendan Ryan.
Michael, I see that your monitor. Don't try to peek over here.
I've got to.
Like cheating on somebody's paper. Don't get over here. Hey, boy, look at that. See that?
Look at that. You have any of those left in the house?
There's a couple of them out in the garage. Yeah, I saw them the other day when I was looking for a golf club or something.
Bunch foul.
Put on a few unis. What's your favorite uni? Yankees, Mets, or I mean, just from the aesthetic part, how they look. What's the best one?
This is the classiest. I think that just is timeless. Any big league uniform.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
Ryan loops one into shallow right. It's going to dunk in for a base hit.
Chris Stewart had an opportunity earlier, and Ryan gets a break here because you don't. Hunter Pence doesn't get a good jump on this, and you just don't pick up the ball. We talked about it. Ball right off the end of the bat, doesn't carry very well. See, Ryan doesn't even see where it is. I'll tell you what, it set up a big opportunity for Stewart, trying to drive in a run here.
Yeah, that was the big swing off the end of the bat. Look at, he doesn't even know. Brendan Ryan, it's a couple knocks now.
Well, they know how important this is, so they call Chris Stewart back. And they're going to send up a pinch hitter. It's going to be Lyle Overbay.
All right, so if Bochy goes to the pen, do you use another switch? Do you use Wells here?
I think you do. And that's Bochy's choice. Does he want Pettitte against Overbay, or does he want a lefty against Wells? And Bochy looks like he's going to go to the bullpen.
A frustrating starter right here. I mean, you're in a 1-1 game, and again, Bochy's playing or managing to try to win. I saw Tim Lentz come in on Friday night, kind of in this same situation with bases loaded, needing an out, and just get out of it and end up at a grand slam.
All right, so you're going to go to the bullpen. The wheels are turning for the managers. It's a 1-1 game in the 7th. Look how swiftly we do that. Why do we do it? Because of the calls of the bullpen, brought to you by our good friends at AT&T. And there is a new pitcher for the Giants. It's the left-hander Lopez. And let's see what the Yankees counter with. And just as we thought they will counter with Wells. And Lopez, his 68th game, great numbers. A 1.63 ERA.
Yeah, and has dominated as like any good left-handed specialist in the big leagues. Lopez against left-handed batters, 157. And here's the move why Vernon Wells is pinch hitting now. 288 batting average against right-handed batters.
Now, we have to give some love to a former Yankee, Al. I know a good buddy of yours. I don't think it's a coincidence that a lot of pitchers come to the Giants and become outstanding. Dave Righetti's a good pitching coach.
Righetti, and how long, Michael? I mean, David Righetti has been a great pitching coach. And you mentioned, what one comes to mind is Robbie Nen when he was traded away from the Marlins and while he was dominant with stuff, it really was Rags who helped him believe and harness his 100-mile-an-hour fastball slider combination. And Righetti repeatedly, pitcher after pitcher. And this is an organization that really has developed a lot of really good arms.
All right, so you've got Lopez now against Wells, who's pinch hitting for Overbay, who is pinch hitting for Stewart. First and second, one out. Pitch outside. .285 hitter against left-handers. Not too good against righties.
You talk about a specialist, and there's no secret in why he's a specialist against lefty. You just watch that delivery. Hides the ball, slings his sidearm.
Jumped up and hit Wells, 1-1. Yankees won one game in Toronto, and Wells got a big hit when the Yankees exploded for the 5 runs in the 8th inning.
Oh, he does that right here. This place is going to erupt. Motion of today from the ceremony right up here until 1 out at the bottom of the 7th.
David Robertson is going to start to get ready. That one gets away from Sanchez, and the runners move up. Now that changes the job of Wells here with second and third one out.
We talked about it earlier in the game about sometimes you just have to change what's going on in your mind about the at-bat. And boy, you're right, Michael. This changes his whole at-bat. Now you're not thinking about even getting a hit. You're trying to get anything in the outfield just to get that run in. Infield in. I mean, you've got so many good things happening for you as a hitter now. You step out. You've got a good count. Men in scoring position, a lefty. You should pick up the ball well. Good opportunity for Wells right here.
Scored a pass ball. Infield is in. The 2-1. Foul back, 2-2.
Now, how many times are we going to say it today? You get a pitch you got to do something with. Now you've given him an opportunity to make that perfect pitch and get a strikeout.
Yeah, this is an 87-mile-an-hour fastball, middle of the plate. You know, any productive out here, the infield in, batting average goes up about 50 points.
That ball's got to go to right center, if you ask me. That ball's away, out over the plate. It just looks like he was in a mode where he was going to drive it to left field.
2-2. He struck him out. Big strikeout for Lopez. And now that takes pressure off the Giants as the infield could back up.
Huge out, Michael. There's no doubt about it. And Paul, you're right. I think the fastball, I wonder if it gets on your mind. I mean, the fact that he missed the heater and here comes this sidearm slinging slider.
Yeah, again, you see guys out of the bullpen, and you get in a hitter's count and you see a ball away. You've got to put it in play. You foul it off. You give them an opportunity to make that good pitch, which he did, and get the strikeout.
All right, so a tough at bat for Ichiro, who actually hits left-handers very well. But this is an extraordinary matchup, lefty out of the pen. A .325 hitter against lefties, and that's the best of any Yankee.
See how close Sandoval is at third base. Not letting any of those little toppers or just putting the ball in. Those third basemen with 2 outs are back, but not with Ichiro up.
Bottom of the 7th, a 1-1 game. Giants with just 1 hit. Yankees 6. There's a strike. 0-2 on Ichiro.
That ball, that had such a weird motion. It was almost like it had an upshoot to it. It was so down below the ball as a fastball. It actually kind of came at you from a different angle. It's just weird. You don't see that delivery very often.
0-1 count. Lefty, tough lefty. What are you looking for?
You got to look away, and you got to look just to put the ball in play. I mean, 0-1, obviously, I'm looking away.
Now 1-2.
There's at bats now you just have to take. You see Andy Pettitte just hoping that they can get a run. And not get too involved in what's going on and just realize, what he can do. Oh, man. Oh, again, a hanging breaking ball in the inner half, but, in a 2-strike count, you're so intent on staying in there, and you have to fly open to get to it. Well, he had a good pitch to hit there. Knew immediately.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out. So Lopez comes on to strike out the pinch hitter Wells. Strikes out Ichiro. Yankee strand 2. We're going to the 8th, tied at 1. The starting pitchers in that game brought to you by Verizon Fios, making life more entertaining with America's fastest, most reliable internet that's powerful. Matt Moore against Hiroki Kuroda. Yankee extra innings on Yes, following the game on My 9. Game starts about 7:05. Pettitte still out there as he deals a strike to Sandoval. Pettitte had retired 14 straight to start the game before Sandoval walked with 2 outs in the 5th. Hyundai scoreboard, it's 1-1. That's hammered to left field, and it's a base hit. Soriano fields out there. Going to fire to second, and Sandoval's in there with a leadoff double.
That might be it. You're going to hear a boo and a cheer here, all in the same walk.
Well, his career started in 1995. He has been a rock for the Yankees. More postseason wins than anybody in the history of the game with 19. A beloved Yankee with 5 World Series rings. And this is the final moment he'll have on the stadium mound in the regular season.
Well done.
pretty emotional. The first person that greeted him was his longtime teammate, Derek Jeter, in the minor leagues together. And you could see that was a very warm and tender embrace where there was something said between the two of them, and then everybody in that Yankee dugout. And then the crowd said, "We love you."
It got me, I'll tell you that. You could tell at the end. I mean, his father's here. He's looking up for his family. His wife and kids came in. I mean, it seems like 15, 20 years of just kind of all comes at once. And there's his father, who I'm sure that has a lot of emotions himself. And Andy Pettitte's done so much for this game and this organization. It's just all of a sudden it comes to a head when it's over, and you just realize, 5 seconds ago he was so intense on just getting an out, and then as you walk off the field, all this stuff, all this emotion is allowed to creep in.
And now out, he's feeling it now, right?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I'm watching, and I'm with you guys. I felt that completely. I mean, he went from the emotion of leaving a slider up to Sandoval, looking at Girardi. He knows it's the right move. His pitch counts up, all that. It wasn't that frustration, but now the reflection on his career, really. I mean, so much is going through your mind right now. It's how it all plays out, not just for this game, but over the last 17 years.
All right, so now the Yankees have to try to win a game. Runner on second base, nobody out. David Robertson on, facing Hector Sanchez. Count 1-0. Pinch runner at second is Nick Noonan, pinch running for Sandoval.
There's that 12-6 curveball that Robertson has shown so often in his big league career. Great numbers.
One and two.
I would imagine you're looking at next year's close with, it's me. I mean, it's kind of the natural progression, right?
Oh, he's got to be given the chance, no doubt about it. I don't know what the winter lies ahead for the Yankees, but I would think Robertson has deserved at least the opportunity. Sure.
One, two. Grounded to first. Sanchez does his job. Moving to third is Noonan now with one out. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees.
Joe's got a lot of things going on here. Again, you realize that this game could mean your season. So you've got Mariano up. You're trying to figure out, do you set up a double play depending on what happens in this count? So many things have to be thought out. I mean, one run in a regular season, you just go at somebody.
And there's that one run as Abreu rips one into the corner. Ichiro plays it out there. Scoring is Noonan. And now it's 2-1 Giants. Well, that one stings.
Yeah, to say the least, Michael. Tony Abreu getting a little slider down and in. Big hit, obviously in the 1-1 game here late. Just getting enough of it out there. And he's feeling it.
So Andy's line is now complete. 7+ innings, 2 hits, 2 runs, a walk and 6 strikeouts, 104 pitches in his final regular season game here in the Bronx. And Paul, you so hit it as now we're going to see Mariano come in. This is more than about Mo Day and Pettitte's last game here at the stadium. This is about winning this game. I mean, that is paramount here. If the Yankees have any chance to get back in the postseason, they've got to win these games. So Joe's going to take the ball from Robertson, and here comes Mo.
Rivera
second time that Mo has taken that route. During the ceremony, it was a live rendition of Enter Sandman, and he walked in while you're on the field for that. This time he jogs in with more urgency because this is a big spot.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I mean, you love to see Mariano come in and pitch, but you would love to see it in a 2-1 game where the Yankees are winning. But, you know, they're in dire straits right here. This is their season. There's no doubt about it. You've got to save every out, every run at this point.
You know, and with that said, Paul, you bring in Robertson. I know he gives up the hit. And now here a 5-out save. You're not getting any help with Cleveland. They're ahead, and also Tampa Bay. So this is it. You're right. He's bringing in Mo to stop it from being any more than a 2-1 deficit.
Well, the whole day has been a love fest for Mariano. He hugs his wife Clara. His sons are there. His former teammates. Emotional embraces. An incredible show of love from the crowd as well. Just a very special day. Metallica was here. Yankees gave him a customized rocking chair, and also this beautiful Waterford crystal rendition of his glove. And there's two of the core four. Right now, Mo has to work as his family watches. Here's Adrianza. And there's a strike. Those are the numbers. Oh, one more broken bat for old times.
So inappropriate, right? You almost look at the situation. I mean, if the offense could have scored some runs, you know, 3 or 4 runs, if Andy Pettitte even would have gone out in the 7th. You're right at that threshold of his pitch count. If he's got a lead, he might let Robertson start this inning. The offense just didn't get it going today. See ya.
Strike 3.
Tell you what, he got ahead, and this cutter just ended up over the plate, but it had good movement on it. I'll tell you what, as a young player walking up there, you're hitting Mariano Rivera. You're not even hitting the baseball, and sometimes it's kind of overwhelming.
Yeah, after the off factor, you're down 0-2. Wait a minute, I got a bat. I got a swing here.
Here's Pagan. As Mo deals to the rookie J.R. Murphy. Remember, Stewart got pinch hit for. Giants lead 2-1. We're in the 8th.
Kind of cool when you wear a picture of yourself on your hat, huh?
Only time in baseball history it's been done. That one is looped into right center field. It's going to be caught by Granderson. So Mo comes on and gets the 2 batters he faces here in the 8th. Right now the Yankees are on the bad end of a 2-1 score. Andy Pettitte's just a spectator. We go to the bottom of the 8th. lease. It's a new lease on luxury. By Heineken, open your world, enjoy responsibly. And by Jeep, rediscover the freedom of the open road at the Jeep Celebration event. And then there was one man left of the core four when this season's over. Derek has every intention of coming back, but Posada's been retired. Mariano just had a day, retired his number, and Andy Pettitte just pitched his final regular season game at Yankee Stadium, and if the Yankees don't make the playoffs, his last home game ever. So what's going through Derek's mind?
You know, it's probably pretty hard to say, but I think it's going to set in next year in spring training. All of a sudden, none of these guys are in the locker room. None of these guys are out on the field. Like you took a wrong turn at Legends Field.
Alex Rodriguez leads off. New pitcher for the Giants is Santiago Casilla. Another pretty good ERA there. Hyundai scoreboard 2-1 Giants. Well, there's a lot of things at play here. Yankees need to win. And obviously they want to rally too, so Andy doesn't get saddled with a loss despite pitching a beautiful game. Right now he is the pitcher of record on the losing side. The Yankees have taken the first two games of this series. Broken bat and a base hit for A-Rod.
Well, good start. Alex getting on there. Now you got Cano and Soriano.
Pinch run here.
You know what? It's a tough call. They haven't all the time, Paul, because of a close game, but this time I think they're going to do it, and it makes sense. So Alex is going to be pinch run for, and it's going to be Zoilo Almonte.
Michael, wasn't it Almonte that the first time he pinch ran, we were doing the game and he missed third base coming around? He's learned from that, though. He's all that wisdom now.
I think that was actually Melky Mesa.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, you're putting it on Almonte.
Sorry, my bad. Just wanted to remind him to hit the base when he goes around.
Count 0-1.
Well, a little different look here from Casilla. Early on, Pettitte, more of a off-speed changeup, move the ball around. Casilla's going to come right at you.
All right, so Paul, the hitter's in the shadows. The pitcher's in the shadows. Beyond the pitcher is the sun. Does it have any effect on the hitter now?
It's tough. There's no doubt about it because it's so bright out here. You just don't, you know, hitting is all about picking up the baseball and the seams and the spin, and you just, it's like you're squinting because there's so much light out there behind the pitcher.
It's dark coming out of his hand. I think of even batting practice, guys showing BP, it's hard to pick it up in some stadiums where it starts getting dark.
Grounded foul.
Casilla has pretty good stuff too, and anybody that just throws hard and kind of slings the ball right here. See, that's a curveball, and you don't pick it up.
Yeah. That was an awesome shot. Look at this. You got the light in the back, as Paul's saying, dark with the pitcher, and then look, it gets bright again, and then dark. Can't be good. But wasn't that the thing with Big Daddy Lee Smith all those years? The sun going down. I mean, he was great closer.
Really good. You're talking about the closer in Chicago. Pitched all the day games.
Yes.
Nolan Ryan, all those guys that used to intentionally start him on the 4 and 5 o'clock games out in Anaheim.
Seven hits in his last 13 at bats in the 7th inning or later.
Tell you what, Casillas giving him a couple good pitches to hit 0-2. Again, Robbie is just having all kind of trouble just trying to square something up because it's tough to see it there. All kind of running away, but still having a lot of the plate. San Francisco pitching staff is throwing a lot of balls up out of the zone in this situation today. The 0-2, the fastball out of the zone.
Grounded inside first and down the right field line. Kicking out to Pence. Almonte is going to be held at third. It's a double for Cano. And the Yankees are set up second and third and nobody out.
I'll tell you what, it's an exciting time to be in Yankee Stadium. A huge hit by Cano. Gets a hanging breaking ball and just hammers it on the right field line. By Belt at first base, and boy, I tell you heard the crowd roar. Good choice by Girardi to get that pinch runner in there.
They caught a little bit of a tough break because if it didn't hit that side wall, it goes into the corner and Almonte probably scores.
Good concentration there. You see that great shot again with the light dart. Brandon Belt, good first baseman just by him. See Almonte on his horse. Robbie Thompson hold him up.
All right, second and third, nobody out. The Giants will play second and short back, so Yankees will get a run on a ground ball to those positions there in at the corners.
Important for Soriano to remember here is you've got to tie this game before you can win it. And you've got to put the ball in play. You've got to get that guy in from third. If you drive a base hit, get a good pitch to hit, great. You'll drive them both in. But your concern now as a hitter is to tie this game up. Get something in the outfield. Get something up the middle where the ground ball is even going to score a guy. You cannot put yourself in a position where you can strike out here.
Soriano has actually faced Casilla 5 times, just one hit, and that one left the ballpark. Second and third, nobody out. Yankees down 2-1, bottom of the 8th inning. This is a top step sort of game. Sanchez wants to talk with Casilla.
Well, Casilla has given each of these Yankee hitters, A-Rod, Cano so far, and even Soriano, he had a pitch to hit. Overthrowing what looks like a little slider, middle of the plate. I don't know the choices for Dave Rigetti and Bruce Bochy, the manager. Not a place to be missing location, especially in the heart of this Yankee order.
To vote for the Chevy part of the game, visit votechevy.com. Results will be revealed in the post-game show. Ground ball to third. Here comes Almonte, and here's the throw. He's going to be out.
He hesitated there. He just got stuck in nowheresville. You see right here, he just freezes. And, you know, if you're going to go on contact or you're going to make the ball go through, one or the other. Horrible place to be in as a base runner.
At that point, he should have just stayed.
Yep.
Well, that wasn't a contact play then,
no,
Paul. If it's a contact, he didn't go. And then if it was contact, Robinson Cano should be standing at third base right now.
So inserted as a pinch runner, and Almonte, the youngster, does not do a good job. Now first and second, one out. And that releases some of the pressure from the Giant infielders. Here is Granderson. And now the sun is cooperating, kind of is hiding behind a cloud, so he's not dealing with shadows at all. Cano's at second. Soriano is at first.
umpires realize what one pitch can do in a count, and that ball's borderline up and away. Pitcher got the call. Pitch out?
Of course.
Yeah. I think it's a strike.
The 0-2. That's strike 3. Dialed it up to 97 miles an hour. So the Yankees had runners on second and third, and nobody out. Now it's first and second with 2 outs.
Well, as you said, Paul, that 0-1 pitch, that curveball that looked upstairs, put Granderson in a real tough spot. 97 mile an hour, was not able to hold up.
As a hitter, you start looking up there and you try to cover it, and next thing you know, he throws a 97 with some movement up there, and you just can't catch up to him.
Yankees hitless in 6 tries with runners in scoring position, and now here's Eduardo Nunez, who is 1 for 3.
Here's a kid that, you know, you really are still trying to figure out, is he going to be a mainstay here or something? These are the at-bats, I mean, coming down towards the end that you really take note. Does he look confident? Is he going to come through and play, you know, in times like this? Huge at-bat for the New York Yankees.
Yankees have 8 hits, the Giants 3, but the Giants lead 2-1, bottom of the 8th inning. Line drive, a base hit. Here comes Cano. They're waving it home. The throw from Perez is in time as they nab Cano for the final out of the 8th inning.
I'll tell you what, everything you did right there, Robbie Thompson has to send him. Just a great throw. You just got beat on the play. There's nothing you can do about it. You challenge the arm.
And he is out, and now he is limping as the trainer, Steve Donahue, tending to him on the infield grass. Big third out.
Oh, almost came out.
Stretch out whatever is bothering him. Juan Perez, who made that throw to end the inning, leads off, takes a strike.
Yeah, what a perfect throw, Michael. And as you say, Paul, everything had to work out perfectly. Nice tag by Hector Sanchez. Wow.
0-2.
I'll tell you what, you thought, I mean, Nunez got jammed. He did a great job, but you thought you'd have enough time with that. Robbie did everything right. Robbie Thompson did everything right. He made the defense make perfect plays, and they did.
1-2.
See what happened with Robbie. A lot of times when you slide in there, you see that knee comes down, and you kind of strain your hamstring or the back of your knee.
Off the glove of a diving Ryan, and it trickles into center field. A base hit for Juan Perez. So the Giant dugout thrilled with the outcome of the final out. The Yankees, they think that they've tied the game. From ecstasy to agony in an eye blink. Here's Brandon Belt. So on the day he was honored before the game with a lavish ceremony where his number 42 was retired. Mariano got the final 2 outs of the 8th inning and now pitching the 9th, hoping the Yankee offense could come through in the bottom of the 9th. Oh, nice play by Cano. And the ball is dropped by Ryan.
I'll tell you what, this ball's hit hard. He kind of double clutched. He tried to barehand it. Probably not knowing where the runner is there. You got to get that first out, obviously. Robbie couldn't quite get it in his hand, so he kind of shot putted it over there. Kind of fooled him, but he barehanded it without the glove. Didn't come up with it. Big play for the Giants.
Well, they give the error to Cano because of that shot put. There's Buster Posey, and there's a strike. So first and second, nobody out. The 0-1. 1-1. Sergio Romo will try to close this out. Shattered bat, and Cano makes the play.
That's some lumber right there. All the cutters that Mariano throws, big pitch right here, tough hitter, and Buster Posey throws a sinker. Watch this ball move inside, keeps boring in on Posey. You talk about a shattered bat. Watch this ball. He thinks it's barrel and ends up being label. Watch out. Couldn't get his hands in far enough, Paulie.
You try to adjust, but you can only adjust if that ball. That ball's adjusting too. It just keeps coming in on you.
That's going to bring up Hunter Pence. He is 0 for 3. Perez leads off second, Belt off first. 1-0. You hear Doug Eddings giving coordinates, saying the ball was inside. The 1-0. Sellout crowd of 49,197 here in the Bronx for Mariano Rivera Day. Grounded to Ryan. There's one. And there's two. So Rivera pitches 1 2/3 scoreless innings. And now it's up to the Yankee offense. Can they do it? How big is this? Look at a rare motion from Mariano Rivera. celebrating the career of Mariano Rivera and also the career of Andy Pettitte. The Yankees are 3 outs away from losing this game. Mariano Rivera is very much into this, trying to pump up his teammates in the dugout, exhorting them, let's go guys, let's go guys. And it's not about him and it's not about Andy Pettitte. It's also about a chance to get into the postseason. And the Yankees are right up against it. They can't afford to lose games, and they are down in this one 2-1. So now he becomes a spectator. On the day that they retired his number, 1 2/3 innings, 1 hit, 1 strikeout, he threw 16 pitches. And knowing Mo, he wants to pitch the 10th inning if all the Yankees could do is get him 1 run.
I'll tell you what, just a string of emotions. You look before the game, then a close game, then watch one of your better friends walk off the mound, and then going out having to get 5 big outs. This would be a fitting day if they just scored a couple here, wouldn't it?
Here's Sergio Romo. He's going to try to stop them from doing that. 35 out of 40, 4-8 record, 2.72 ERA. Cleveland has beaten Houston, so the Yankees know that. Tampa Bay has beaten Baltimore. Texas and Kansas City, they go to the bottom of the 9th inning, 0-0. So the Yankees have to win. Now, they will not be mathematically eliminated, but things would look pretty dire. So a rally for their season as Mark Reynolds takes outside. Reynolds, the Yankees' only run, he connected for a home run in the 3rd inning off Pettitte. One and one.
Romo's a guy that, I've never faced. I only saw him in the playoffs last year, but he's slider. As a hitter, you're not going to get a ball inside to pull off of him. So you're going to have to lean out over that plate and try to hit that slider.
Count 2-1. Mariano thanking the fans. They gave those out when he came into the ballpark today. Now he'd like to thank his offense as the count goes to 3-1. Ryan is on deck. If you want to look even further after Ryan, you've got a rookie, J.R. Murphy, due up, and the only other catcher on the roster is unable to go because of a concussion.
Got one to hit, too. 78-mile-an-hour little slider over the middle of the plate. Didn't have a lot of break. That's one of those get-me-over sliders that become just a lukewarm fastball. You see not a lot of break on this, just right there.
Yeah, that's that whole non-2-strike approach. Even though you got a nice, healthy cut out of it.
3-2. Line drive. Noonan boots it, gets it, fires to first, and the scoop by Belt to get him.
I tell you, hit it hard. As a hitter, sometimes you just feel like the whole world's against you. You do everything you can. Noonan knocks it down, but it doesn't go far enough away. In between hop.
Watch Brandon Belt here. This is a heck of a scoop.
Wow.
Got him.
Now here's Brendan Ryan. He is 2 for 3 today. Double to left and single to right. Count 0-1.
Paul, when you're saying about the slider, I think about Carlos Mamal, guy who was with the Cubs and now the Dodgers, and I play with the guy Turk Wendell. But it's just that occasional fastball, as Romo did the one fastball to Mark Reynolds, to make you think. There's 2 sliders in a row. You don't have to throw 95. I mean, Romo's been an effective closer for the Giants.
What we're talking about is going through the minds of everybody in that dugout.
To say an emotional day obviously is not really telling the whole story, but you feel it. I mean, you can see it on the face of these guys, and really wanting them. As Michael, you talk about the big picture, but this is a big day for a lot of reasons.
1-2, 2-2. The 2-2 popped up, and the Yankees are down to their final out, and they will have to leave it to a 22-year-old rookie because they have nowhere else to go. They don't have another catcher. Murphy came in after they pinch hit for Stewart. Kid's got some pop. He's 2 for 11 so far in the big leagues, and you can imagine what's going through his head. When Mariano signed with the Yankees in 1990, J.R. Murphy was not born. And here he is trying to save the day. One and 0.
You can't say enough. I mean, you're down to your last hitter here. I mean, Andy Pettitte. I mean, they answered the bell. An unbelievable start. We've just seen every opportunity to keep this keep alive in this pennant race. As good as he can throw, and miss with one cutter. Ended up costing everything.
Count 2-0 now on Murphy with Ichiro on deck. Two and one. Romo deals. Yankees are down to their final strike. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Swing and a miss, and that will do it. On a day that celebrated the career of Mariano Rivera, and we saw Andy Pettitte for the final time on a mound in the Bronx. A devastating loss for the Yankees in the present as they fall 2-1 to the Giants, and their pennant hopes really take a body blow. Well, stick around for the postgame show to find out who's today's Chevy Player of the Game.